Hello, and welcome to this Musescore and Audacity combo tutorial, wherein I'm going to teach you how to create Unity-style musical sound effects as game assets. And you don't have to be a musician, and still, it's going to sound, by the time we're done with this, like you're a master musician who knows how to make these incredible musical sound effects for games. So, right now we're in Audacity. I just wanted to show you that I'm working with Audacity 2.12. We're going to come back to this. We just like this as our startup screen here for you. And now I'm going to launch Musescore, which I have downloaded and installed. Musescore 2, and it's going to show you the exact version number. The download and install of Musescore is so straightforward and typical that we're not going to waste tutorial time on that. You've got to know at this point by now how to download a file, and I'm going to show you exactly where to download it and install it. We already know that you know how to do that, so I'm not going to insult you. In the upper left-hand corner of your screen, there's a file menu. Yes, okay, so things like that we know. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this pre-installed Musescore that I have, and you'll see it comes up as 2.0.3. And we end up with this particular window as we start it up. We're going to go here to create new score, and we're going to call this. Now this is what we're doing here is we're going to create that type of sound effect where our little character in the game is running around and he or she comes across not a tiny prize, but also not the game-winning prize, one of those kind of like 1 in 50 collection of floating gold coins, like a bunch of gold coins are kind of floating around the air, and he arrives on it, and then you end up with something kind of like this, something like that or whatever. And that's just me slamming that on the piano real quickly. But for this, we're going to really dress this up and take it into Audacity. It's going to be very magical. So it's not just going to be like a clunk or a thud type sound effect or just a little blink or something like that. We're really going to make people know that they've got a medium level prize. In fact, we're going to call that medium level prize gain. We'll put a little exclamation point there. And for the composer, for myself, we know who that is. In fact, what I'm going to do is just for this, since I could use my magical official circled C by holding down the Alt key, and of course I'm on Windows, Alt key 0169, and then we get an official copyright signal, and then I go 2017, and then this part is going to, you would want to customize this a bit for yourself, of course. So we're going to go here. And I like to throw my web moniker on there, which is actually an officially registered pseudonym with the United States Register of Copyrights. So very cool. So now we're going to click Next. And we get all these cool templates. These are really cool templates. They're very cool. They're very cool. But the one that we want is to choose our instruments, because I'm going to lay this out for you. Again, even if you're not a musician, I'm going to choose the exact sounds and show you the exact placements to place on the score. You don't have to have a piano. You don't have to have a keyboard. You're going to be stunned with how awesome this is when we go virtual Beethoven on this and literally put the notes in that our symphony, which happens to be our computers, plays beautifully and goes into our symphony hall known as Audacity. That's where we're going to add our cool body and effects and everything to it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to go to is the category of pitched percussion. And the first instrument I want you to choose, and I want you to choose them in this order, is going to be glockenspiel. We're going to add that. And then the next one we're going to add is going to be a vibraphone. And finally down here we're going to come down to vocals, and they have all these cool specific solo types, but I want you to just choose general voice, just straight up the word voice, and we go here. And then we are going to go here, and what I want you to do here, and again, this is the cool thing about being here with me in this tutorial. If you don't know this stuff, you're actually going to learn this, and it's going to be fun and easy in the way we do it. So these are some hardcore key signatures here, you know what I mean? So I myself, I glance at these, after all these years and everything, I instantly go, G, D, A, E, etc. And we go around the circle of fifths here and all this, blah, 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 blah. But for right now, I want you to specifically choose this one here that has one flat, which is going to be the key of F major. And you'll see it also gives its minor equivalent, which is D minor. But don't worry about that right now. Right now, this is we're going to go major on this. And I'm even going to tell you the exact tempo to get that magical, I just want to price that. And you'll see it'll kind of sound like that, but really, really amazing. So 100 is a nice, cool, that's kind of like one of those cool, like African pop tempos, which is really cool. But for this thing, we want some kind of interesting game magic. So we're actually going to go 160, 160 as our tempo. So we got single flat F major, tempo to 160, and then we're going to click next. And this is our time signature. Let's just stick with 4/4. A pickup measure. I'll explain that to you at another time where you can research that. It'll be a lengthy conversation if I detail this out in specifics. We're starting right in the genuine startup measure that we want with no unusual beats or anything. So, and measures, for this one, I just want you to highlight that. We don't want to work with 32. This is just 2 measures. You're going to be surprised how magical this is, okay? And anyways, all right, cool. So we're good, looking good. And I'm going to click finish, and voila, we have our cool layout of instruments here, and it looks like we are ready to get started with this. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do is we are going to select the, before we select our note, we're going to come down here, and I'm going to select my vibraphone first. And remember, I'm going to tell you the exact notes to put in to get the type of sounds we want. So I'm going to click the letter N, and you'll notice that we just switched to a little blue entry note. Now I want you to select this half note, and you'll notice that it hollowed out the center because it's going to give us a half note. And in this first space here, we're actually going to put this there like that, and then we're going to come up to, so here's the first space, second space, and the third space, and we have this dual sound. And let's take a little preview of that. So okay, cool. So that's a part of our sound. You can hear instantly why I chose vibraphone. It has that goldish sound, ooh, magical gold type sound. So, and now we're going to add our next thing here is, as I'm going to come into this measure, and all I'm doing is I'm left clicking in that measure, and let's see if we can make this there we go. Okay, cool. One thing I love about this program is without having to select any additional tools, if I want to move this a little bit on the screen, I just grab anywhere here that's in the blank, and you notice we get some 4-way north, south, east, west arrows come up, and we got our measure selected. And for this one, now that this area is selected, I'm going to click the N again. And if you forget that, you can just come up here to notes and make sure that this is selected. But it looks like we're good. We have note input selected through the N there. And whoops. Okay, so kind of cool. I'm glad a note went in there wrong. All I did is I just pressed backspace, so you know how to do that now. And we're going to grab our whole note. So you see how the whole note, it also shows the keyboard shortcut is the number 7. But I'm probably going to use this a lot right now in case any of you are non-musicians and you're going to know exactly what these are. So I'm going to grab the whole note, and remember on this one I want you to put it exactly where I set it out for you. So first space, then you're going to stack it on top of that, second space, third space, exactly like that. And now you might see why I chose the key of F major for this particular prize gain. You're going to be able to work in these spaces instead of trying to figure out, like, okay, did he choose this ledger line or was this one line space? For this sound, we want a really bright, happy, magic achievement as our little character jumps up, spins, and collects this flying set of gold coins or stars or diamonds or whatever it is for our particular game. And so now let's take a little preview of our budding game asset. Okay, cool. This boy down here is a little loud, this big old choir, and I want to hear that vibraphone, so you know what I'm going to do? So I'm going to go to dynamics, and I love how instead of just giving us some funky volume dials, they go totally legit musical, legitimacy on us. I think I want. So let me give you a little bit of and don't strain your brain on this if you've never heard these before, but just a cool little bit of music theory because you're going to be building game assets left and right. You might as well have it down. So the single fancy lowercase p here in music theory terms, that's from the Italian, and believe it or not, the original word for soft in Italian, piano. Piano, and it's spelled just like piano, so that's why it's the letter P. And same thing for the letter F. So forte, it's like a strong fort. Like you have a big military fort, but you have a little E on the end, forte. Okay, and then after that, the more you just think of this, the more soft or piano you add, very soft, very very soft. Pretty cool, huh? And over here we have strong, very strong, very very strong. And then these are exactly what you might be thinking they are. This is the M is the kind of like the Italian equivalent to the middle, the mezzo piano. So this mezzo piano, and what that means is this is medium soft, and this is mezzo forte. So this is medium strong. Okay, and I think let's start with this one, and we can change this, but I want this one here to be our. Oh, that's right. We kind of have to drag it. So I drag on remember this is very soft, and I want this to, you see how it's trying to apply it to something. It's like, you want to go here, which way you want to go, man, which way you want to go, and we notice it doesn't go beneath that. It's like, okay, you must want to deal with this thing here, bro. So let's go to very soft, and we notice it puts it down here. That's why I was headed down here in the first place, because on a page you might do that. And now let's hear how it affects it. Awesome. Okay, so we brought in a little angelic aspect to our choir by having them lean back off that volume. Okay, so now we get to have some crazy fun. And this is why I have this at 160, which is pretty fast. Let's put it this way. Your typical upbeat disco dance thing is somewhere about 124 to 128. So 160 is blazing, but you can't hear it with these notes that I've selected because these are long duration notes. Whole note lasts for 4 beats. Now you're going to really hear how fast this thing is going as far as the tempo clock. We're going to come up here to the 16th note. You can either press the 3 on the keyboard, or this one that has, see how it has 2 tails on it? 2 tails on it. 16th note, and you're going to select this. And whoops, I just hit undo because I had this measure selected and it changed that for us. So if that happens to you, you know what to do. So I'm going to come up here instead. Remember, we have to select our measure that we want first, and I'm going to come up again to the 16th note. I'm going to select this. We're going to come in here, and I'm going to make sure that I'm pressing the N again. And as soon as we press our N, we get that high lit blue note letting us know it's ready to rock. And actually, I can press that there. So now I've got my highlight blue, and then I choose my note type. So now we're going to do this. Okay, so I wanted to stay all in the spaces. Remember, these were all in the spaces. These two are in the spaces. Okay, so that's why I chose specifically F major. And the official chord here is an F major 7, just so you know. But now we're starting to get some stuff going in here. So let's we certainly don't want to discard what we're working on here, but the program puts up this my first score thing as a default thing. Let's I'm just going to get rid of that so we're not confused. And I want to save this puppy here. So let's go save as. And we are in the Musescore scores. You can navigate to whatever folder you want. I'm just going to call this medium level prize gain, just like it is. I'm going to call this version 1 though, in case we want to make some changes and such. Cool. And that way, if we do our Control S, we're getting a save. So, okay, so now, and again, this is the benefit here. You're working with me as your teacher on this. We don't need to, for what I want to happen is I want only these notes to happen in what are called octaves. So for a minute, I'm going to make sure that I turn off this MIDI input because I have my digital piano in front of me. Now, I'm going to play just from the piano in the room. That's an F major 7 chord. Now, octaves, how octaves work, if I play just the root note of that, this F right here, if I went 1 octave below, that's an F, but it's 1 octave below. So it's actually the same note, but it's an octave below. So if I played this middle F again, and then I played the exact same F an octave higher, we're an octave apart. So keep that in mind, because what that means is that those are actually all of the same note names. They're just happening in different octaves. And when we set this on this glockenspiel here and roll this rock and tempo, it is going to be a cool, magical, flying gold coin acquisition game going on here, all right? Medium level prize game. Remember, this one isn't so big that we're saying we've won the entire game, but this also isn't a little ding ding, oh, I won like a coin. Oh, no, this one you picked up some change, bro. So okay, so let's go here. And you know how we have this note here in its shining blue mode? What we're gonna do here is I want to pick this whole thing up, and now we're gonna merge this old, cool, long, everlasting tradition of music notation, and we're gonna bring some more technology to the game. And with this last blue one selected, and if it wasn't, you could just press on it like that, and it will give you that blue. I'm going to, right now, the parts that you can't see, as I'm holding down the Shift key on my keyboard, and I'm pressing the left arrow so that our little collection window there moves backwards. And you'll see that it's highlighted all of those little notes there. And now I'm going to go Control C, and I'm sure you know what that means. That means copy. And now I'm going to come out here. So once we got out of that, I just clicked somewhere outside of these four, and I'm right here on, this is a rest, this little lightning bolt thing. It's a quarter note rest. You don't need to worry about that, because Marcus right here is going to do this exactly for you. So now I'm going to press Control V, and look at that. We repeated the same thing, but check this out. I want to go here, and you get to do all this because the computer is going to be your symphony when you play back these beautifully centuries-lasting form of music notation here. What happens is you get a riff that would take you like years to play perfectly, you know, and the computer's just going to fly it out beautifully. So I'm gonna hold down the Shift again. I'm going to highlight this one, and I'm going to hold down the Shift again, and I'm pressing the left arrow. So I've got Shift, left arrow, and I come back here, and now I want to take this and I want to transpose it 1 octave down. Okay, so now we're going to come here to the notes, and we see that it has transpose. Let's click transpose. Again, cool thing in being my tutorials, you don't have to know this right now. I'm going to show you exactly what to choose, and your game asset making skills will increase as your music theory skills. It's just great. Oh, it's just phenomenal. Okay, so transpose chromatically. All this stuff is good. Don't worry about it. I want you to click by interval, and you're going to click down, and you're going to come to this list. And for right now, I'm gonna show you how to do a shortcut on that later, but I want you to come right down here. All the way, you're going to scroll all the way down till you see perfect octave. Perfect octave, you're going to click that, and then you're going to come here. Don't worry about this other stuff right now. We're going to press OK. Now, let's do a little preview right after I press Control S to save our symphonic masterwork. Okay, so rewind to start position. What? Wait a second. Were you thinking that this wasn't going to fulfill the promise that I was talking about? And now you're here. We ain't even done yet. You're like, wait a second. I pictured a little spritish character, some kind of elven magic leprechaun guy jumping up and he was just like in the air rotating, and he was like, ah ha 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 ha. The magic of music notation. Feel the power. Okay, so now we're looking good here, but I don't think there's enough magic yet. So you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna click on this puppy here, and now I'm gonna hold down Shift, and I'm going to press the right arrow because I want to select this direction. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna click Control, and I'm pressing C so that we get a copy. I'm gonna come out here. Get off of that. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next, this is, by the way, this is a rest. This is a half note rest. I'm just going to come out here and highlight this past our main notes there. And I'm going to press Control V to paste this bad boy. And this, this is going to get magical. Hang on. Okay, so now I got these four selected, and I'm going to come up to something that we've already seen before. You're going to turn into a pro just after going through these steps. We're going to transpose again. Then we're going by interval, exactly what we talked about before. And we're going to come down. Perfect octave. But this time we have the interval going up, okay? So remember that. We're going up. And of course, you could rewatch the video if you don't get this. I'm going to make sure I'm going at a reasonable speed, yet also slow enough that we can get this. So this time, in our third bank of these 4 16th notes, we're going by interval, up direction, perfect octave. Click OK. Okay. And I'm not going to preview because I really want you to just be like, what? You know, like when you hear this fully done. Okay, so now let's take this, and I'm going to go copy, and I'm going to come out here to what is not in our selection. And this again is one of those quarter note rests because the software is beautifully letting us know how much actual note time we have left in our first measure here. And with that selected, I'm going to press Control V, and we get another copy. Okay. Now, we want this gold. This has got to take our little leprechaun character, whatever he is. He's like, I guess the leprechaun's there. I don't know where the gold is. So then, just some more gold for me. We can't have that. This is like a disgruntled leprechaun's cousin or something like that. So he's finally I got gold, yay! So he's got gold, and he's absolutely loving it. So now we got to make sure that this goes even higher. So this is like he catches it, he's jumping in the air, he's spinning, and now he's feeling like he's in heaven. So that means we got to go back to notes, transpose, and by interval, we want to go up again. We want to go perfect octave again. Okay, and look at this. We got like this beautiful ladder. But what's great, okay, these ledger lines here, these little, you see how there's these extension lines that go past the main staff that we call this? Okay, these are hard to read. Like after a while of playing music, I'm definitely way more of like a creator than a reader of other works. But I remember when I was studying this, back in the days, and I still sight read some stuff. But the thing is, when I'm reading others' works, ledger lines, you have to really you have to understand what intervals are, and I'm not going to go into that wild tangent of a conversation. Like for instance, like the distance between this ledger line up here and the one that the note's on, that's a fifth. So like instead of actually reading that, I look at this first one, and I know for sure that this first ledger line would be a middle C, and then that way when I'm glancing at this, I'm going, oh, a fifth beneath middle C, and that of course is an F. Okay, so anyways, let's go back over here to our thing. Didn't mean to go music theory nut tangent on either. So now look at this beautiful diagonal staircase. I think it's time. I think that you've earned it because you've earned the medium level prize gain. So now I'm going to click rewind, and let's hear what we got. Hey. Okay, so pretty nice, folks. And what's great is, what's funny is the quality when this exports as a wave, it actually does a little quality bump. It's really cool, like in its export process. So I really like that. So I'm going to press Control Save. And we don't want too much stuff to go on here, but we do kind of want our little bro there to sort of return back to Earth, but not too much back to Earth, because he's on a new level now. He's richer, you know what I mean? So we have F and we have C. That's going to be the 1 and the 5 of the F major 7 chord. And if I say anything, if you're not familiar with music theory, when I throw those things out, don't work at it. It's a really cool phenomenon. I know, like when I'm teaching young people, it's a really cool thing too, or actually any age. Things like that, just let them roll in the ears as I say them, and after a while, you're gonna be like, oh, that's the 1 and the 5, bro. 1 5. I'm serious. It is. So this is like the 1 and the 5 of the F major scale. So I want to close this off with the 8 of the F major scale, which is going to be the octave. So I'm going to go ahead and grab, but I want this one to be really short. Like, let me think. So we got this ding. So we have this kind of, since I don't have the MIDI thing. Something like that. Okay, so let's go to our 16th note, and oh, that's right. That's right. We gotta let it know where we're going into this game at. So we're gonna come here, and I'm gonna press the letter N first, and I'm going to go to our 16th note, and I'm going to drop this puppy right there. Okay, and it fills out the rest of the measure with oh this back in the days like doing this by pen. This could kind of be kind of annoying. You kind of had to think about all these. How much do I have left in the duration? And it fixed that right up for us. And that's why I wanted to have two measures. It's because I wanted this little cap here. And that's pretty quick. We may even go to a shorter duration, like 30-second notes. But let's hear this. I think the 16th will be, at 160, this 16th is going to fire off so quickly that it's. Okay, so, in fact, I just want to okay, so I want to make sure that I have okay, good. I deselected note input. And now, let's go here and let's take a listen. Okay, cool. I love it. I love it. Okay, especially too, I can tell by the properties in this, just after years of working with reverbs and stuff, this is going to have a beautiful, like, little reverb tail because it has some high frequencies and some mids and stuff. And this I kind of want, I want this to kind of ghost. I know what I'm going to do with this. So, and again, this is all going to happen in Audacity. I cannot believe this you guys, like, I know that everyone is listening of different ages, but like a program like this, like when I was a kid, and a program like Audacity, oh my God, they'd be like if they had anything like that, it was like the price of a car, and here it is. We have this beautiful notation program. I'm gonna give myself the control save. Let's take one more lesson to see if we want to play with the dynamics at all. Nope, sounds great. Our little very soft piano mark there on our. Let me move this to the side. There we go. On our voice choir there. Has brought this back beautifully in the mix for us, and we're not playing with some cheap little volume knobs or anything like that. We did this old school Italian music theory, so I love that, absolutely love that. So let's go here, and now I'm clicking Control Save again just because I'm nervous and it's really cool, and you should too. So let's go to File, and I'm going to go to Export. Okay, so it's going to let us, if we wanted to take this to a symphony orchestra, you can print out a PDF file, pay an absolutely insane fee, but it's probably worth it, if you can afford it. but instead, we don't want paper for this one, even though paper's awesome. We're going to come down here to Wave Audio, and we're going to select Save. Okay. Bam! Your whole, sorry for rocking the mic there, but your whole symphony of this section was just played at lightning speed in beautiful quality. And now we are going to. I know that's good because I've checked the program. I'm going to show you how to get right at, and plus after a while, I'm not going to go dig around through the files right now on the folder thing. Let's just do this the pro way, and we're like, okay, that rocked. Let's go to Audacity. Okay, so now we want to bring that file into Audacity. We're going to come down here to Import, and we're going to go to Audio. And I believe this thing, there we go, Musescore Audacity tutorial. Let's click in here. Oh, that's right. It was under our files. So let's pretend you made that little flub too, because I did. Okay, instead I want to put this right where our game is, so to say. So we're gonna go export again. You don't have to do this. It's in Documents, but instead, let me just show you how to do this. So like we're building a legit game. I know that I have these tutorials in my videos folder, and Musescore, there we go. So I'm just going to export a copy. So now I got 2 copies running around somewhere. No big deal. It's a really small yet high quality file. And it's going to do the exact same export. So you know what I mean? That's how you make 2 copies of that. I'm turning that around here. And going to Audacity. And now we're going to go File, Import Audio, and Musescore Audacity tutorial. And there it is. There's our little WAV file. We're going to bring this into the game here. Okay, so it looks like that's man, beautiful levels and everything like that. But just so we don't blow you away there, I'm going to back off the volume just before we even press play. Let's hear. Okay, cool. Very good. I think first off, I love this one. So we're going to create a duplicate of that, and if you've checked out any of my other Audacity tutorials, you know that's a huge. Hopefully you are totally getting used to that habit. Before you start playing with it, make a duplicate. So we have our original here. We're going to mute this bad boy. There you go. Okay, we're coming down here. And, okay, so let's find out where that, I think about right here we get into our, about, okay, so this is pretty good. Now, the interesting effect that I want to happen here is, there's several ways to do this. I think we're gonna do this. Okay, so bring this up here, and now I'm going really deluxe on that. You know, you might notice that it's actually just a really clean, crisp sound. It has a nice touch of basic. It sounds like it has a natural built-in room reverb on it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But I'm gonna just show you how to trick something out here, and all the levels. It's beautifully in place as far as normalization and compression, everything like that. But you know what I want to do is I'm going to duplicate this again. I'm going to come down here, and only on this kind of third one here, we're leaving the original alone. I'm going to go to Effect, and I'm going to come down to Reverb. Okay, so let's see. Room size. This looks pretty good. Let's take a listen to what it does to it. Okay, I kind of like it. Let me see what it. I'm curious. Okay. Damping. Okay, you'll notice that as I raise the damping, it got rid of that little jittery, like the jittery spring reverb type thing. Just let you hear like with let's go no damping, so you hear this kind of rigid spring, which for something especially like guitar stuff, it's pretty cool. But for this, we don't want that. You hear how there's kind of like a shimmering pulse back there. Actually, it's 0. It sounds pretty good. And here is the interesting. So, the magic of playing with the dials every once in a while. Let's go ahead and let's. Okay, this is actually pretty extreme to have 0 damping, but I like how it makes all the coins kind of sound like they're disappearing into the ghosting effect or whatever, which is probably going to be happening in the visuals of your game anyways. So let's go with 0 damping. I didn't really change anything else. I did select wet only because we have this file that we're not going to apply any reverb to. And if you saw my big G-verb, Audacity reverb tutorial, although this isn't G-verb, and now we actually get to look directly at our settings as we're working on them, and we could do some other things like that. I still love the idea of having a second track with all of the reverb on it, and then we can just adjust levels of the track. You don't have to worry about phasing because it's literally creating a new version, and phasing generally happens when you have the exact same signal. So this is looking good. We cut off our damping, so we get this kind of like like a shimmering thing, but in the highs, so to say. Looks good, looks good. Wet only means we're only getting the effect. We're not getting a mix of the actual recording that we have back there. We're getting only the post-effect version of that. So wet only. And we're going to go to OK at this point. Okay, cool. And we definitely see it had its effect. So usually when you click reverb, something like that happens. And instead of getting this, you get this big wash of all these sounds behind the reverb. Let's mute this. Let's take a listen. Bam, bam. Okay, I like it, and we're going to fix up the ending and all this stuff really soon. This is good. Since this is a duplicate of this, yeah, we don't need to make another duplicate. Let's go about right, I think about right here. Let's take a listen. There we go. Okay, so right when it starts to go in that last magical, remember that last little vibraphone note we put in there? This here, I wanted that to go into the magic of the ghosting reverb, because remember, now it's disappearing and it's collected and it's been put into his virtual pocket, so to say, his or her virtual pocket. So let's be right about that. So let's come over back here to Audacity, and this is about when that last vibraphone strike happens, that last little high F we put in there. So I'm going to take this area here, and I want this about right here. Okay, so that looks about the same. Let's take just a preview. There we go, cool. Just last little clip of that. And here is what we're going to do. Let's normalize this first, because I want the levels to look the same. So, oh, that's right. That'll never work. If you ever go for that, and you're like, hey, how come they're all blacked out? It's because you have it in play mode under pause. So we've got to stop, make sure that we're zeroed out of that. We're going to go to Effect, and we're going to go to Normalize, and we have our reverb. There we go. So now they look kind of similar-ish. This is a little hot, so to say, but we're going to be able to play with our levels and do a mix down. So that's totally awesome. So this was our area here, like right where that little bump comes up. So about right here, and I want to click mute. Okay, cool. Good, 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 good. Now I want to go from here to the beginning, and we're going to go Effect, Fade In. Okay? We might get a little more extreme about that, but in fact, let's do that a couple times, and you notice it eats up. Oh, good, good. That works perfectly. Repeat, fade in. You'll notice it starts eating this away more and more, which is really cool. And now I want to go up here, and we're just gonna go all the way out with that. I didn't want to select both of those, so let's go here and go all the way out like this. And now I want to start doing some effect, fade out, and I'm just gonna press Control R several times because I want that to happen. So and watch this get eaten away back here. So Control R. You see it's kind of barely eating away like that. Okay, so let's see now. We're probably gonna have to play with the levels here, but here's generally what's gonna happen. Is the dry sound is gonna be prominent, and you're gonna hear all these little, and then as it starts to go to that last little ghost, it's gonna feel like it's disappearing just through the musical sound effects. So you know what I mean? Because it's going more into the heavily reverberated aspect of the tail end, and we're gonna shorten this because you don't want this thing extending forever when the guy or gal captures their prize. You just want it to ghost out. But let's see if the transition from the real world of the game into the virtual pocket disappearance, and now I'm going to go on and he's going to go on and find his trees or whatever he's got to do. So let's go back here and let's hear what we get. Hey, you see what I mean? So not too bad. I still want it to be, it's a little too, where was this at? So it's about right there. There you go. And as you can see, this version is kind of disappearing, and this one's taking over. I want this to be more. So we're going to go here again, and we are going to go fade in some more. And now I'm going to watch this because I'm going to press Control R just over and over again. There's another way to do this, but I don't want to add that. Okay, yeah. Plus, this is better. There we go. That's the beauty of that. So I'm just pressing Control R over and over again, and now we see we pretty much got nothing going on here. And then as something's going on, this over here is saying adios. So we get this beautiful kind of, real world becomes the virtual pocket, invisibility, and all that stuff. Okay. Cool. A little extreme. Let's see. I'm pressing Control Z several times there because I felt like that result was a little too extreme. Let's go here. Good. And now that sounds like more of a levels thing. So let's bring this about to 16. And, okay, there we go. That evens them out. Good. Okay, now, this is way too long out here. Let's think about, so we got our little character, and he's running around. He's going like this. And he comes in here, and he's like, right about here, I want the sound to be completely out, I think. Let's go to 3. That's a nice round number. So let's get rid of this entirely. Let's go out here, and I'm actually going to click backspace because remember, actually I'm going to click delete because we have, oh, neither one of these wants to work because I had the pause mode on there. So there we go. There's our delete. And now this one will snap right into that one as well. Cool. And you see that little yellow line that showed up? Just in case you, in the newer versions of Audacity, they've been doing this, and I love it. So now it knows what we're trying to do. And we click delete. And I think this one, I'm thinking it must be that it's coming in a little hot. So let me reduce the volume here. And now let's go to here. Good. Okay, now I want this to be totally done by about, so let's like 0.5 seconds. Effect. Oh. See, even after all this time, fade out. So don't let that bother you. So fade out. There we go. Okay, so boom, boom. Okay, cool. That sounds realistic in the game because we don't want too much of a tail end on it because our processor, even though sound compared to some 3D world, after a while you have this giant stack of sounds. If this is happening, this wouldn't be happening that often though. You know what I mean? Because again, he is or she is it's a medium level prize gain. It's not like the biggest thing and it's not like the smallest thing. And I'm just gonna go in here and eat away at that with our fade out. Okay, so let me take a listen. Okay, I think let's see. Okay, that's pretty good. And let's go. I still think it's coming in a little hot. So we're back to 25 now. And let's bump this one a little bit. 16, 13. There we go. Okay, so pretty cool. Did some cleaning there. And I think I want this. I'm going to fade this out. No, even better yet. I'm going to go about half here. And I'm pressing Control and pressing L so that we get silence. And then I'm going to go to here. And this will do a nice mathematical job of going from a little bit of sound to the pure, beautiful silence. Remember, you don't want to delete that sometimes when you want the timing of things accurate. So, effect, fade out. There we go. Let's take a listen. Okay, and just to hear that section alone. There we go. Okay, cool. So now, back to our 0 point. Okay, cool. Pretty good. I think now, I think this whole thing needs to gradually fade out. Should we do that? Yes. Should we? Yes. We can always undo. So let's go fade out. Let's hear what we get now. Awesome. Okay, cool. Glad I was able to save that one for last. So now, and plus that fixed the levels I wanted. You see how our levels here are similar in width, in vertical height, I should say. Vertical height, and that's exactly what I wanted to happen. So this is what I was originally imagining for this. Cool, we got to it. And now it kind of disappears without so much of an aggressive disappearance because, we don't want that to interfere with anything. There's one other thing I originally thought of, and we could do this. Let me just show you just in case you wanted to do this. There is a delay in Audacity that you could use, but just as an idea, I'm going to press Control D for duplicate. I'm going to come out here, and I'm going to select the Move tool. And I'm going to go to this one and set this over here. So now we're going to get this cool kind of like, the disappearance happens, and it's kind of digital. It's kind of delaying. So you'll hear. Let's cut our gain way back. There we go. Okay. Perfect. Oh, that came out better than I thought it would. So now he's going up. So your characters, he or she. Let's say it's a couple. So it's like the Audacity twins I put in that one video or whatever. And a lot of people didn't like or whatever. I loved it. Okay, it was great. So, anyways, they're walking along. The Audacity twins are walking along, and then they find it's like a new shimmering. It's like floating golden flash drives that they can use on their Audacity programs with. They're walking along, and they get to that area where they are, and they collect them, jump up, and then they're back in the game. Okay, cool. I love it. I love it. It came out great. And remember, you can build all of this just recounting the steps. And I can't, because of agreements I've signed with other people, I can't give you permission like this in all of my videos. But that little thing that we built in Musescore here, I give you permission. You can rebuild this and use it in your own Unity game. Go for it. Courtesy of Marcus Unlimited. Marcus James Christian, no problem. Go for it. This thing here, if you rebuild this note for note, go for it. And then you probably won't get these steps exact, because you have your own style and everything, and and all of that. But that's another cool thing. In fact, I'm gonna go to View. Maybe some of you don't know this, so this is a really cool thing. When you start getting a bunch of tracks, see how we got tracks disappearing there? I like to go to View, and I like to go Fit Vertically, and there you go. It shrinks them all kind of mathematically even. So we got this one muted, and we got all of our beautiful stuff is happening here. And just to make sure there's no crosstalk, I don't think it does that anymore in the program, but let's just be sure. All of our levels on these three in our mix are just beautiful, and we want to mix these things down. There's a few different ways we could do that. We could go mix and render to new track. We could do that, or we could just export these three, and that's what I'm going to do. So we got our three selected. You see how this is unselected and muted. We're going to go here, and we're going to go export selected audio, and we're in this folder. So medium, let's go post post aud. We'll know what that is. And medium level prize gain, version 1. Yeah, let's just keep the same version so that we know it matches. And that's our file that we actually have open on Audacity. Wave, keeping it's all beautiful, wave quality, no compression or anything like that. Gives us a warning: your tracks that are selected will be mixed down to 2 stereo channels in the exported file, and that's exactly what we want. And cool, got our preset field names. And just in case, I don't know in case there's anyone who doesn't know how to do this, but you can set this up once, and then you go down here, set default, and it'll keep these settings for you. That way you don't have to keep refilling it, especially since whatever it is going to be your file. Let's click OK, and there's our export. And now let's go out here, and let's navigate to that. We got videos, Musescore. Let's check it out. This is now ready. So post Audacity, this is now game asset ready, folks. Nice little wave file. You can pop this right into your Unity projects or any type of game that you're doing. Nice, a little 519 KB, kind of small, and it's 3 seconds. But man, when that little team there arrives on them floating gold coins, we get the magic. Hopefully that made it back into the feed of the tutorial. Basically, it sounds exactly like what was happening in Audacity, which is beautiful. And let's go back there one more time. This is what we did, folks. Little recap, summary. We went here, and even those of you who believe you don't have musical chops through being my student here, you were tutored, and you just flew these notes in exactly as we laid it out using note input. You followed my instructions about fitting in the spaces and doing the transposition of the chord F major 7 an octave higher, F major 7, 2 octaves higher, and then tagging it off with that little vibraphone note. And we had this good stuff going here, which was pretty cool, nice. But then we took it up here and just really made sure we added the Audacity magic to it. There we go. Okay, absolutely awesome. So you hung in here and you found out how to create high quality, absolutely pristine quality sound musical sound effects, game assets for your Audacity projects or other game projects. Maybe you're doing game level mods or such. And I picture something like this in one of those grassy, kind of grassy, kind of little kawaii characters type thing, something like that. That's what this is probably good for. And there's a lot of cool games like that. So now you know how to do this for you. And if this ends up being prominent, and such, we'll show you how to do all kinds of other things. In fact, even how to, since I know the instruments pretty well, I can go through here and find things that will create really high quality sound effects for you just using this program, and you can take it into Audacity and beef it up. So beautiful job. Congratulations. You have won, and you deserve the medium level prize gain. Till next time, be unlimited, stay unlimited, you are unlimited. This is Marcus Unlimited, out.